Today, take a look at the Sefaspe MIG 200 Pro. So I already made a video on the 135 Pro. This is going to be the big brother. So this does have an adapter that is a female 240 to male 120, which is excellent. The reason that's important is because sometimes they came with plugs that were a male 240 to female 120, and somebody that doesn't know any better might go and plug their equipment into that and blow up their equipment. So I'm glad that they made it this way. So here is our working clamp. I am happy to see that we do have a braided cable right there in between it, so we don't have to worry about carrying the current from this side to that cable through that pin. That is a nice big twist style lock, and it does have a nice strong feeling spring on it. Here's our stinger. We can see that that is a stamped piece of copper to hold that rod, and it has the same twist style lock. This one does actually come with a hose, so if you want to use this as intended, you'll be able to do that. You can use it with actual MIG gas rather than just flux core wire. And here is our MIG gun. We have a nice soft trigger on there. I do like seeing that we have a multi-connector on there, so we'll connect everything through a single plug. It does come with the tip on, and it looks like it comes with some accessories. So we've got another tip, and we have got a wrench. All right, so we have got a nice full-size welder. We have our cable for our polarity, so if we want to use DC electrode positive or negative, they are labeled right here, so you can just select whichever port that you want to use. A nice large display on there. We got our voltage and our amperage adjustment. Those are separate. Those are also both push buttons, and I do appreciate seeing that we actually have independent buttons for all of our different features. So we got our wire diameter, our material or mode, on-off switch 2T and 4T, and gas on or off. So we don't have to go like cycling through a bunch of menus in order to get to all that information. On the back, we do have all of our power ratings. We got our on-off switch, and we do have active cooling as well as our port for our gas. Let's see on here that it's good for 110 or 220, so you can plug whichever you prefer in. Of course, if you want the higher amps, you are going to need to plug in that 220. But it does come with our 220 plug, and if you want to make that a 120, just connect that adapter, and now we are 120. So on the side, got a nice big working area in here, so if you need to use a larger spool, you can actually accommodate that with this welder. Got all metal parts in here, which I love to see, and we have a threaded cap for our wire feeding wheel. So by default, we have a 1.0 and a 0.8, so that's just going to depend on the thickness of the wire that you're using. We also have our instructions, and in that same bag, we got a bunch of more wire feeding wheels and tips, and it looks like these are all 1.0, 1.2s. So that means with this welder, we can use 0.8, 1.0, or 1.2. So in the manual, we have all of our power ratings for the different phases. So we got one phase 110 or one phase 220. They're both 50, 60 hertz. No load voltage is 58, and our output current is going to be between 30 and 130 for the 120 volts and 30 to 200 for the 220. That is a duty cycle of 60% and a power factor of 0.75 or 0.73. So good looking ratings on that. So I'm going to be using some 0.8 wire. We can see that 0.8 is going to be on the outside there, but we want that to be on the inside of the machine because that is the track that this welder operates on. 0.8 to the inside, and spin that up. We got a nice big wheel, and that is a righty loosey. It's going to allow us to put on a big old spool. We just want to make sure that this is going to go counterclockwise to feed in. There is a pin right here, so you want to line up that pin with that hole if you can. Alright, I can thread this back on. Counterclockwise, lefty-tighty. And we can grab that wire, make sure that you're holding on to that so it doesn't unspring. And feed that in. Got that. Drop our bearing, lock that in. Can tighten that down if we want, but you don't want to put too much pressure on it because if you do, you'll have feeding problems. Now I'm going to be using DC electrode negative, so we're going to be plugging that into the negative. Our working clamp is going to plug into the positive. With the MIG gun, you just want to thread the wire in, and then make sure we are lining up all of those pins. There. Now we can thread that guy on. I'm going to want to take off the tip, just so we don't have any interference. Alright, so right now we're on stick mode. We have got Lift-TIG, MIG, synergistic, SpoolGun, and back to stick. So you can't actually attach a SpoolGun to this if you've got one. So MIG would be if we want to adjust everything manually. Synergistic is going to be, we're just going to set the amps and it'll do everything for us. I'm going to use it like that. Wire diameter, we got 0.30, 0.35, 0.40, and 0.23. We're using 0.8 millimeters, so that's close to 0.30. Gas they got on CO2, or you can choose mix. Material, they got Fe, that's iron, stainless steel, Flux, and AMG. So I'm going to go with Flux. That way it's going to turn the gas off, so it's not going to be opening up that valve in the back. And we're going to change that back to 0.30. So that way when we pull the trigger, it should start feeding. So I'm going to take this cable, I'm going to stretch that out as straight as I can get it, pull the trigger, and I'm just going to watch and make sure nothing binds up in there. We got a nice fast feed. And there we go. Show it off. Then we can put on our tip. And you can tighten this up with pliers if you want. I usually just tighten it up by hand. Put on our nozzle, and then shorten that up. So that is ready to go. That is a super clean bead on that guy. Nice weld. And I think the nice thing about it too is just the amount of puddle that puts down with just a 0.3 wire. I'm used to using much thicker wire, and that makes for a nice thick puddle. That can definitely glue some metal together. So yeah, as long as I can figure out how to run straight, that is going to make some nice welds. But yeah, nice and fluid. I didn't have any skipping or popping, anything like that. Flux coil wire works great. I love the fact that we got all the different options. The fact that we can even run full-on MIG gas with this. Most modern welders at this price point, they're flux core only, so you cannot use it with a shielding gas. This one, you can go either way if you want. You can use stick, TIG, even a spool gun, and it is not limited to synergistic. Even though I use that with this, you have the capacity to actually fine-tune that. Use it much more like a professional welder if you choose to. So if you're looking for that upgrade, that is going to be an excellent option for that.